Welcome to Sculpture Studios. We're working for a company now that specialises in promotions for drinking occasions and events. We've been contacted by Rory Caudry and Rosalind Van Tol from a company called Elastic, and this is to promote the Japanese beer Kirin Ichiban with their label logo. Now, if you've worked out a direct translation, you'd probably wonder why the logo's this dragon-type creature, when the word Kirin actually means giraffe in Japanese, so that doesn't make much sense. But this is in relation to the original brewing company, Spring Valley Brewery, that later changed its name to Kirin, and thus creating beers with the same name too. A little further digging reveals that a very similar word, Kirin with a Q, actually refers to a mythical hooved creature that's seen in Asian cultures like Japan and China. It's said to appear with the imminent arrival or passing of a sage or illustrious ruler, and it's actually seen as a good omen, so that's a good thing, and the word Ichiban means first and best, so that's always a good start too. The client has asked for 2 identical models of their logo, semi-relief, for a display at an exhibition event.
Here we have a dragon here, which is like this. It's going to go on the sign, very limited for time. So I had Chris Greenbridge, which is my freelance sculptor, who comes in and gives us a hand from time to time. So thank you very much, Chris, you've done a nice job. We're just cleaning off the surface just as the clay gets to a like leather stage, and we can polish the tops. And from here we're going to make a silicone rubber mould and then with a plaster jacket and then get 2 from it.
Silicone rubber is perfect for this form of pattern, as it's good for retaining all the intricate detail, and with a relatively small piece like this, it makes it a cost-effective material to use. This needs to be applied and generally looked after until the rubber starts to set. We go over with a thin layer first for all the detail, and then a heavier, more butter-like layer of rubber for extra strength. The same method would apply if we were to make a plaster mould, a thin layer first for all the detail, and a thicker layer with rods and scrim material on the back for extra strength. In this case, the plaster is only being used as a jacket, and we're using the polystyrene here as a temporary backing so the plaster lays flat and it doesn't crack from its own weight. Though this is generally a waste material, this still needs to be durable enough to get 2 casts from, so we need to take care of it. Once everything is set, it's time to take the plaster jacket off and extract the clay pattern from the silicone rubber insert. Take it away, Jess. Once we've placed the rubber back inside the jacket and cleaned up the excess clay from the interior of the mould, we're going in with the gel coat resin. This is a liquid layer that accesses all of the detail and leaves a nice smooth finish when the cast comes out. We need to make sure that all the clay is removed first, as this is a water-based material, and if any was left in, it would stop the resin from curing properly. A perk of using clay is that once the pattern's been moulded and extracted, it can be wetted and placed back in its bag to be recycled for another day. A lot of the clay you see us using in our videos has probably contributed to over 20 projects over the last couple of years, so this is definitely a beneficial material to have. When the gel coat is set, fibreglass is applied on top, and we're using a thin layer first of 1 ounce to soften out the internal shape. We then back it up with a layer of 2 ounce to strengthen it a little further. Look at that beauty coming out of there. Whether it's 1 cast you're making or 1,000 casts, after every extraction you need to make sure the rubber is placed back in the jacket to save it from stretching or from going baggy. You always need to take care of your mould. Exactly the same process happens again. Gel coat inside the mould, a layer of 1 ounce and a layer of 2, and a second cast is replicated. All of the excess glass is then trimmed off the back, and any minor imperfections in the surface of the cast are then cleaned up. We're using sandpaper in finer and finer grades, and car body filler for any small amendments, until we're happy with the finish. Over the top of the gel coat we're going on with a white primer, so there's a nice clean base layer for all the painting. The client has sent us RAL colours so that we can order these paints in to match the brief perfectly. As these dragons are only ever going to be displayed inside, we're using water-based emulsion paints as opposed to 2K car body paints. 2K would be more appropriate if these dragons were going to be displayed outside in more versatile weather conditions. For the base section, the client has asked for the brand logo text to be added to a white box section, so for this we've had the letters programmed in and hot wire cut so they're nice and neat. The logo is cut either by a font or from a PNG picture, and you can see just how clean and crisp the cutting is, so the quality of the finish is really high. To stand out, the front of the 3D text is painted black, once again from emulsion paints, and the box section, though it's already white as it's white polystyrene, it's painted to soften the polystyrene texture and to make sure that all the white on the sculpture is uniform. Not that we plan for the sculpture to ever be seen from the back, but we're adding black on the reverse side just to smarten the glass fibre texture up. Here you can see the pole that's been laminated onto the back and that slots into the base section. The dragons are then packed up and sent away to be displayed in the exhibition space alongside the Kirin Ichiban team. Thank you very much to Rory and Rosalind from Elastic for coming to us with the project, and we're glad that everyone's happy with the end result. Please feel free to leave any comments below, as they're always appreciated, and hit the subscribe button for our latest videos. You can like Sculpture Studios on Facebook, and for more of our work, visit sculpturestudios.co.uk. We've also recently joined the world of Twitter, so if that's your preferred way of keeping up with the work we do on social media, follow and tweet our new @Aden Hynes on twitter.com. This is now displayed in the description on all of our videos, and it's going to be added to the outro on every clip from here on out. As always, thank you very much for watching.